Right, today is the 19th of August and we are going to do complete 7.13 activity. There's a lot to do there still. We have done all of those points up to 7.13.4 where we've actually done the average and the number of learners that took the test. This is in BTN stats. Now as you can see in this list box, I've already got some items there. I actually should take them away, because those items are supposed to be entered in with a capture button, but I put them in to explain something yesterday, so now I'm going to take them off. Right, we can also do list box.clear. Now in this button stats, we've cleared the memo and we've got the total, which was .count. And then we entered an empty line, and then we had to do this, where we had to get the sum. But when you run your program, you'll see there's a problem, and that is because right here we have not got a property there, list box dot items square brackets k. So it has to be dot items square brackets k for that list box property. Then run the program and see if we have any other errors, and there won't be any other syntax. We're talking syntax errors here now, okay? That's a syntax error. Now we're now going to do the next part, but before we do the next part, let's go and make an empty line. So copy and paste memmarks.lines.add, because we want it to look neat. Everything's going to be displayed in the memo. So after we display the average there, which we did yesterday, we're going to go put an empty line. Then we have to get the highest mark expressed as a percentage, and then the lowest mark. Now you might remember a long time ago I showed you how to get the highest and lowest using an Excel spreadsheet. There's a special formula. I'm trying to find it now. Oh, maybe I didn't do it with you. I must have done it with my grade 11s enough. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, if you have a list of items and these items could be in a list box. The list box acts like an array almost. Let's pretend that the list box looks like this, okay? It's vertical. And each one has a number starting at 0. So we will give them numbers. So the first one will be 3, maybe. Right, so let's say those are your list box items, and these are the index. The red numbers are the item index. Now to get the lowest, or the highest or the lowest, doesn't matter, either highest or the lowest, the algorithm is the same. We'll get the highest first. To get the highest of quantity of things, and you know that they're all got numbers to them, in this case, you get a variable called I highest. Now, of course, if it's a real number, you use a real variable. And we set I highest equal to the first box. Okay, so we get I highest colon equals that list box dot items box number k. We get it equal to the first one. Okay, so I highest is now going to be 3. Right, our highest is going to be 3. Then we're going to go through the rest of the boxes, all of them, one at a time, to see if it is greater than our highest. So before we're going to use a loop for this lot, okay? So we use a loop for the rest of the boxes. Before we go into the loop, we set our highest equal to the first box. Then we go to this next one, starting from, in this case, 1. We're going to say is 5 greater than highest? Yes, it is. So guess what? 5 is the new highest. Then we go to the next one. Is 2 greater than 5? No. And the next one. Is 7 greater than 5? Yes. So the R highest is now 7. And then we go and look at the 6. Is 6 greater than R highest, which is 7? No. Is 2 greater than R highest, which is 7? No. Is 5 greater than R highest? 7? No. And after the end, we'd have R highest equal to 7. Not so? So is that a simple algorithm? So it's box number 3. That is what R highest is. Now if we did R lowest, we'd do the same algorithm. Set the first one to R lowest, okay? Set the first one to R lowest and then go through each box number. Is 5 less than 3? No. Is 2 less than 3? No, so 2 is the new R lowest. Is 7 less than 2? No. Is 6 less than R lowest? No. Is 2 less than R lowest? No. It's not, it's equal to. Is 5 less than R lowest? No. So guess what? R lowest equals 2. So that is your algorithm. That's your logic you're going to use. You set the first thing in your list. You have a range of things. Set the first thing equal to the lowest or the highest, and then use a loop to go through the rest. So they will do it. So we've got to declare 2 variables called R lowest and R highest. These are very important algorithms which you use right through to grade 12 and beyond. You can call them tricks of the trade if you wish. So we get our 2 variables and set R lowest equal to the first box of our array. And we know that is box number 0, isn't it? In this case, not array, sorry, list box. LSB marks dot items square brackets 0. That's how you get the first item of a list box. And by the way, this terminology dot items and square brackets works with a combo box as well and a radio group box. So we get R lowest equal to that. Then we're going to use our for loop going from 1. We really got box number 0, but for k equals 1, 2, the number of boxes that we have, and that will be LSB marks.count minus 1. Remember, we figured that one out the other day. That gives us the number of boxes or items in the list box. The dot count property of the list box, subtract 1 from it, and then we'll have, where will we? Well, dot count is going to count the noughts as well. But if you're going to go from 1 to a specific number, let's show you if you've forgotten about that. Dot count in this case is going to be 7, not so? Dot count is going to be 7. Sorry. What? Okay, don't worry about that. Dot count is, shh, that's enough. In this case here, count is going to be 7. If you subtract 1 from it, we know we're going to box number 6. Agreed? Box number 6 is the last number. So if we want to go from 0 to 6 or from 1 to 6, we have to say count minus 1. Okay, that's just a bit of recap of what we did the other day. So for k equals 1 to list box marks dot count minus 1, we are going to what? Get our lowest and highest. Well, we're going to say our lowest equals the first one. Let's say our highest. We'll do it in one shot, kill 2 birds with 1 stone, so to speak, but it's not a nice thing to say. Our highest equals the same thing. 2 different variables equaling the same thing, the first box. I just want to do it 2 in 1. In the same loop, because we can, we're going to say if LSB marks dot items square brackets K. It's always a trick. How do we refer to this item in the list box? K is going to go from 1 to 6 in this case. If that is greater than our highest, then we have a new our highest. That our highest will be equal to that actual item. So now guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to copy and paste, Control C. I'm going to copy and paste this, and I'm going to say if LSB marks.items is less than our lowest. Don't forget to use copy and paste because it'll help you save time in exams. And there's our loop. So we saved a bit of time there for the processor, a bit of typing as well, while calculating the highest and the lowest in one loop. Just changing the less than sign, greater than sign. At the end of this loop, we should have the highest and the lowest and be able to display it in the memo. So just remember it's memmarks.lines.add highest and then the lowest I'm copying and pasting. memdisplay.lines.add lowest. Oh my soul. I hate this when this comes up when I don't want it to come up. Enter string R lowest. Well, there we go. And it's all done. Now I'm not going to run the program because I know it's right, because we have to get moving on to the next one. But I'll give you a minute to type that in, and I will